Hey guys, so right now we're actually coming at you live from Lake Hurron. So we're part of the Great Lakes here in Michigan. I'm here with the Natural Resource Director from the Grand Traverse Band of Odawa and Chippewa Indians, and I'm going to turn it across to him. We apologize about the wind, but we're going to tell you a little bit about why we're stood where we are, what you can see, and I'm going to turn it over to Des.
Hi guys. So behind me is the Upper Peninsula, St. Ignace, Michigan. This direction that I'm looking is actually Mackinac City. So this is Mackinac City. This is Mackinac Bridge. That's a 5-mile stretch. We're standing on the Lake Hurron side of the Straits of Mackinac. The other side of that bridge will be the Lake Michigan side. That is where Pipeline 5 crosses. So currently, we're standing on 21% of the world's fresh water. I wanted everybody to have an opportunity to see the large chunks of ice that are clogging these straits right now. If Enbridge Line 5, that's a twin oil pipeline, it's 5 miles long. That's what this stretch is, 5 miles. Twin oil pipeline, 20-inch diameter, was put here in 1953. At the time it was built, it had a lifespan of approximately 50 years. That's what a lot of the professional engineers who have looked at this line have stated. Right now we're in its 64th year, so we're 14 years beyond the life expectancy of this line. This line pushes 548,000 barrels a day, or roughly 23.5 million gallons of light crude, sweet, sour, and some NGL, such as propane. If that line ruptured today, there would be no possible way, I'll say that again, no possible way, impossible, to clean up a spill. Again, we're standing on 1/5 of the entire world's fresh water, 21%. This area, the Great Lakes region, provides drinking water for 40 million people. So that's the seriousness of this pipeline.
Why couldn't they clean it up, Des? Can we show them what's below, what we're stood on right now?
I can't get through this. This is 6-7 feet thick flow ice.
It goes as far as you can see. We're not going to go too far, but we are stood out on the lake right now.
Yeah, we're stood out on the lake, and again, this is Lake Hurron. On the other side of that bridge is Lake Michigan. This is the confluence. This is where both of them meet, and we put the world's most dangerous pipeline. That's how I perceive it, okay? Most dangerous pipeline in these straits. We have a $37 billion tourism economy because of these Great Lakes. We have a $7 billion fishing industry, both recreational and commercial. Yesterday you heard from some of the tribal commercial fishers. Those industries would be devastated, or will be, when this pipeline bursts. So that's how important this area is. Over here is Mackinac Island. There are some year-round residents that actually live on that island, but it is a very large part of our economy. That's a very tourism-driven island. There's Shepler's ferry service here that supports the removal of this pipeline as well. We're going to try to place a call to them today and see if they got some time to talk to us. No guarantees. We're also going to try and lift off with the drone in another feed. And we're going to do that from where the Pipeline 5 leaves the exits the Upper Peninsula, crosses the Straits, and enters the Lower Peninsula. So that's what I had for now, Kevin.
Yeah, and just so that you know, guys, this pipeline is 250 feet to the bottom of the lake. It sits on the lake, and what's it protected by, Des? Is it buried?
It sits directly, so the twin pipelines, 20 inches in diameter, 5 miles long, exposed pipe. Exposed pipe. There's not a pipeline around it protecting the actual oil pipeline. It sits on the bottom. It's not buried under the lake. It's not in another pipeline. It sits on the bottom, and it's been sitting there since 1953. It's covered in invasive zebra mussels and quagga mussels. It's covered in what other biota might be living down there. It's subjected to extreme currents, and it's been there for 64 years. Just laying there on the bottom. I will, in this comment stream, or thread section on this video, I will upload actual underwater video that we've acquired. I will put it in the thread so you can actually see what the pipeline looks like laying there on the bottom of these Great Lakes.
So what do you want them to do, Des? With the pipeline?
I want it out. I want this pipeline to be shut down immediately. Push the button, stop it. Stop it. Then you can plan to remove it properly. There's alternatives in place. You know, Enbridge is fear-mongering the people, saying that the folks that live in the Upper Peninsula behind me, they'd freeze because they couldn't have propane. There's organizations, non-government organizations, that have done alternatives analysis, and they have said if you stop that, the people aren't going to flow. It'll take 3 or 4 tanker trucks a day into the Upper Peninsula to supply all the residents with their heating needs, or it'll take a rail car or two full of propane to supply the residents. You know, the pipeline originates in Canada, it crosses here, does a shortcut through Michigan, goes back to Canada. 95% of what's in that line is sold on Canadian markets or overseas, shipped off over the Atlantic, and Michigan uses approximately 5% of that. Enbridge pays about $23.5 million a year, okay, to the state of Michigan, through easements, leases, taxes, things of that nature.
23 million a year against, you said 38 billion?
$38 billion tourism industry, $7 billion recreational and commercial fishing industry, 800,000 jobs created within Great Lakes region here because of these Great Lakes. But Enbridge makes 250 jobs in Michigan or thereabouts, and they pay our state about $23.5 million. So we take and shoulder all the risk here as citizens in this state. Yeah, that's what I had, man. I mean, it's got to be shut down. It's wrong.
Well, thanks, Des.
Yeah, thank you. Take a good look.
So, right, guys, we need you to share this. We need you to share it with the hashtag shut it down, shut down line 5. We need you to tag people on Twitter. We need you to tag celebrities. We need people to know that this is 20% of the world's fresh water that is going to be destroyed and not be able to be repaired, not be able to be cleaned. The wildlife's going to be lost. The way of living is going to be lost. Michigan's going to lose much of its industry, much of its income. Shut this down. Share this now. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you being here as always, and we'll be back in a bit with the drone flying to show you some more. Take care. Bye bye.